take it slow. Got that fire roar, wheels of fury tear the track. Hear that engine soar, lean back, shifting gears, push it to the core. Kill a Kyle on my tail, feel the tension roar. Ain't no rules in this game, every breath I fight. Pound the pedal, scream for speed through the endless night.
Hey guys, what's going on? Me back, Killer Kyle, coming at you with another video. Today we talk of, well, we're continuing our look back at Year series from 2005 and TNA's Unbreakable 2005.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. And now that I've watched, because they did have a full show, it's a full 2 hours and some minutes, but when I watched it, it seemed like it was a TV special more so than a pay-per-view.
Could have been.
Because that's what TNA used to do, and that's actually what AEW kind of does with like Winter is Coming and
Yeah.
Fighter Fest, but like, yeah, TNA did that a lot, and I remember watching a Lethal Lockdown,
Right, yeah.
thinking that this was going to be a pay-per-view, but
I think at one point this lockdown was a pay-per-view and then they changed it or something. Anyways, yeah.
but yeah, watching this show, and wow, that was a ride.
Yeah, it certainly was.
Like, I think when you look at all these guys now, they're basically WWE wrestlers, most of them.
Most of them, yeah.
But you look at how young they were and how
Yeah.
agile they are and how, yeah, just, I don't know what else to say. Like, I think when you look at TNA back then as opposed to now, it just seems like they were still fresh. Like, they were, I think, 4 years in.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah, it started in 2002.
yeah. But I think another reason I thought about doing this, because we're going to do another one, but
Right.
Unbreakable is coming back in a few weeks.
Yep.
Yeah, so,
Like Matt said, you look at the names that were in TNA at this point. There's a lot of big names in TNA at this point.
yeah. I mean, you had guys that started in the later part of WCW before that went out of business.
Right, yeah.
So it's like, yeah, you got James Storm is there, you have AJ Styles, you have Christopher Daniels, which the career that man's had.
Yeah.
So, anyways, let's get it on.
Right.
Which makes me think that this should have been a pay-per-view, but like I said, watching it, it cut out like it was a commercial break, but you have Cassidy Riley, who defeated Jaceel Clark, well,
Foul!
Clark,
Let's say.
in a no contest.
Yeah, the match was a no contest.
I mean, I don't recall seeing those two wrestle before.
Yeah,
Cassidy Riley.
yeah, like 2005, there was a lot of, big names in the company. There was also guys in the company that were like new to TNA and weren't really that familiar with. Boy taking on Mikey Bates.
Yeah, obviously we know all about Shark Boy.
Right.
And yeah, watching him in his early career in TNA, that was very inventive. And yeah, I'm not understanding the amnesia story with Shark Boy turning into a Steve Austin character. Or
Yeah.
Stone Cold character, rather. But yeah, this guy definitely, and not really sure what else he did before that. But yeah, definitely somebody that was pretty inventive and would have been interesting had he actually gone to WWE or stayed in TNA.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Who knows what could have been, where he could have been, like, what he still could have ended up doing.
Now we have the with 3 Live Crew versus the Demons in the Rough.
Yeah, you got B.G. James, Conan, and Ron Killings, and David Young, Adam Skipper, and Simon Diamond. Now, B.G. James, of course, is Road Dogg, or the Roadie, and then, of course, Conan and Ron Killings is still crushing it today in WWE. B.G. James, I think he's a producer with WWE right now.
Yeah.
Conan. I know he has his own wrestling promotion.
Yeah.
The Crash.
His own wrestling promotion, a podcast. But Ron Killings, one of the guys in the business that hasn't aged in the last 30 years or so.
Yeah. Like, he still looks as good now as he did 20 years ago. Yeah. He looks just as good now as he did then. Simon Diamond from ECW.
Yes.
Either Skipper now. Again, this was after Triple X. It was either Skipper, Christopher Daniels, and Loki.
Right.
And David Young? I'm not really that familiar with David Young.
I mean, both these teams really worked well together. Obviously, when you look at Jesse James and Ron Killings, or Brian Armstrong, rather, two guys that worked well together since 2000.
Oh, yeah.
And so it's like their chemistry was amazing.
Yeah, oh, yeah.
And yeah, definitely shades of the Road Dogg with B.D. James.
Right.
Yeah. But yeah, 3 Live Crew got the win.
Austin Aries taking on Roderick Strong. Now, of course, right now you have Roderick Strong in AEW as part of the Undisputed Kingdom. Austin Aries, I think, retired, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, I think so. Isn't it funny? You have Ring of Honor's past versus Ring of Honor's future back then.
Yeah, you can say that.
But watching the match and going, holy shit, Roderick looks like he was a teenager or something.
Yeah, he looks fairly young back then.
But honestly, I think Austin Aries, as bad of a reputation as he got back then, or whatever, he definitely backs it up.
You can say that, yeah.
I mean, this match was very cool, and I don't think at the time you would think Roderick would have won because he didn't wrestle very much in TNA. Like, I think it's I don't even know, honestly,
Right.
how long he was there. But
Yeah.
yeah, Austin Aries picked up the win
Yes, sir.
and won't even go into his WWE career.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, that was the shits. And yeah, but I think, you know, if he didn't have a bad attitude, he might still be wrestling. But I think he just chose to retire anyway.
Yeah.
Now we have Kip James and Monty Brown, who defeated Apollo and Lance Hoyt.
Yes. Kip James, of course, is badass Billy Gunn, daddy ass.
Yep.
The AEW, Monty Brown, you know, the Alpha male,
Yes.
Monty Brown, wrestled in TNA for a few years. I want to say
Yeah.
5 or so. He also wrestled in WWE for a little bit, 2006, when the reiteration of ECW, he was Marcus Corvon,
Oh, yeah.
Apollo. Don't really remember Apollo. And of course, Lance Hoyt is in AEW right now, the Murder Hawk Monster.
Everybody dies.
Lance Archer.
Yeah. Did I say Ron Killings doesn't age? Fucking
Billy
Billy Gunn.
Oh yeah.
Also named Monty in real life. But yeah, again, these two worked well together, and I'm sure they faced each other before.
Right.
But this was a good match. Obviously, Lance Hoyt was still one of the best wrestlers even back then.
Yeah. Still in ridiculously good shape.
Yeah. Well, this is apropos. Two guys that are, well, one's still wrestling as the Motor City Machine Guns, and the other is a agent in WWE, or whatever, but we have Chris Sabin versus Petey Williams.
Yeah.
And I mean, watching the backstage promo that they cut, looking at Petey, and again, the young talent.
Yeah.
Like, he's younger than both Bobby and Eric, but you look at the guy, like, so much more crisp energy. That's how I can describe that, I guess.
Right.
But yeah, he attempted the Canadian Destroyer a couple times. Obviously, he didn't get that.
Right. Chris Sabin ended up getting the victory in this one.
Yeah.
And we got a no disqualification match between Abyss and
The homicidal, genocidal, suicidal, death-defying Sabu. And holy shit. Now, I was a bit disappointed watching this match because, well, WWE has the same thing. No fire. Well, I mean, around this time, there was a few matches WWE did have with flames and shit, but like, you had tables, you had chairs, you had, well, thumbtacks.
yeah.
Of course, Father James Mitchell was in Abyss's corner.
Yep.
And just the shit that Sabu put his body through over the years.
Oh yeah.
Like,
And even Abyss, things that he did,
oh, yeah.
thumbtacks and tables, chairs. trash cans, barbed wire, lots of stuff. Both of them, Sabu in his time in ECW and matches the best out of TNA, where they put themselves through a lot.
And I mean, we just saw this a couple months or weeks ago, probably a month ago. Abyss in Mexico.
Yes.
It's a Puerto Rico.
Puerto Rico.
Yeah. But I mean, there was a point where I thought maybe he would end up in WWE. I mean, Joseph Park did. Well, but not like as a wrestler.
Yeah.
Now he's in the TNA Hall of Fame. I think one of the guys that I wish could still go.
Yeah.
And by the way, he lost a shit ton of weight too.
Yes.
I mean, he wasn't a huge guy, but
Yeah.
just kind of like one of those monsters that can pretty much move like a luchador as well.
Oh yeah. Freaking agile for a big man.
And then you look at Sabu and the guy's career, like WCW kind of underrated.
Yeah.
But when you look at him and, well, Rob Van Dam, for example, these guys were hardcore before that was a thing in North America.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
I mean, besides Terry Funk and Mick Foley, but
Well, yeah.
But yeah, Abyss won. And now we have Bobby Roode versus the charismatic enigma, the Antichrist, whatever they called him at that time, Jeff Hardy.
Yeah.
And this was interesting.
Yeah. To say the least.
Yeah. I think Team Canada, and it's just kind of like, it seemed that every Canadian wrestler, almost every Canadian wrestler, had to be a heel.
Seemingly.
Like Team Canada, or in the case of WWF, the Hart Foundation. Yeah, obviously that Jeff could pull this off, but Peterborough's own got the win.
When you look at where these guys are now, Jeff's in TNA, tagging with his brother Matt, they're the tag champions right now. Bobby's in WWE as a producer.
Yep. And I mean, it's pretty cool. He still lives here from time to time.
Yeah.
But at the same time, it would be cool if he got back into the ring.
Yeah.
I mean, think about it. When you think of Team Canada, got Bobby Roode and Petey Williams as road agents.
Right.
Eric Young is still in TNA.
Yes.
I mean, I know Eric loves being in TNA, but if they could reunite somehow,
Yeah.
now we have. How did you do that one?
They got a 4-way elimination tag match for the NWA tag titles. Yes. This is when TNA was affiliated with the National Wrestling Alliance.
Yes, yes.
We have the Naturals, team of Andy Douglas and Jay Stevens, taking on Alex Shelley and Johnny Candido, America's Most Wanted, Chris Harris and James Storm, we already mentioned him, man, A1 and Eric Young of Team Canada.
Yep. Yeah, these were interesting big boys.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, you look at America's Most Wanted, and when we did our best take teams or greatest take teams video, we did include them. the Naturals, I think we may have. I don't know.
I don't think so.
And then Eric Young and A1 Steak Sauce.
Yeah.
I think these guys were pretty cool as well. A1, I think, one of the 2 Americans to be in Team Canada. Oh, no, A1 was Canadian.
I believe he was Canadian, yes.
So anyway, yep, the Naturals ended up retaining the titles.
Yeah.
And it was pretty cool because I don't remember that team, but I do remember Jimmy Hurt was in TNA quite a bit around this time.
Yeah.
But yeah, this was a pretty good match.
Yeah. And talk of Steve Williams, him in WWE with, of course, Alex Shelley, Motor City Machine Guns. Not too long ago, had one match in TNA, and I think it was last year at some point.
Huh.
I don't think they wrestle anymore. I'm not 100% sure. Chris Harris and James Storm. Chris Harris, we knew was retired.
Yeah.
James Storm, I don't know what he's been up to lately.
Yeah, now he was in NWE for a while, a couple years ago. But yeah, since then, I'm not sure. I wish he would come back. Like,
Yeah.
he's still built like a brick shit house. Well, yeah, something like that. I know he could still go, but he is retired, then good on him, I guess.
Yeah.
But now we have a match for the NWA World Heavyweight title. We've got Raven versus Rhino. Raven's rules.
Yeah, the friggin' shopping cart used, and tables and chairs and weapons galore.
Yeah. Oh yeah, that was Raven's classic, always carrying a shopping cart full of goodies. And yeah, this match, they pulled all the stops.
Yeah.
And anyway, Raven ended up retaining the title.
Right. Okay then. Yeah, Raven retained the title. Good, what a match though. I mean, like, again, talk about Sabu and, what he put himself through, ECW, Raven, Rhino, kind of, but Raven, yeah, he probably put himself through just as much as Sabu.
Yeah.
Fuck, you look at Raven's feud with Dreamer in ECW.
Yeah. I mean, Scott Levy had a lot of different personalities, like WWE with Johnny Polo, WCW, I think he was there before that too as something else, so I can't remember.
Right, yeah.
But then of course Raven, and the fact that he wrestled in WCW, ECW, and WWF as Raven.
Yeah.
In TNA, obviously, as well. Just goes to show you what kind of character, how good that was.
Oh, yeah.
And I mean, go!
Well, he attempted to go Raven at one point, and then going through the back of the frickin' shopping cart.
That's right. I didn't think I saw that shopping cart fly.
Well, the shopping cart was in the corner, so not really going to fly anywhere.
Yeah. But those were good matches.
Oh, yeah.
Back then, and I mean, hell, even now, you still have Monsters Paul. And I can't remember the other match. But you still have those types of matches in TNA.
They break out once in a while, yeah.
Yeah.
And for the X Division Championship, we got a three-way match. You got AJ Styles, Christopher Daniels, and Samoa Joe.
Hell yeah.
AJ Styles is currently in WWE, and Christopher Daniels and Joe are over in AEW.
Yeah, stop hitting yourself. I think this was awesome. AJ and Joe teaming up and just kicking Christopher Daniels.
Oh, yeah.
And this wasn't yeah. And I think, you know, Christopher Daniels is one of those guys that I think, being in a bunch of different companies, it is a wonder why he's, like, he should still be wrestling. I think he retired because he got injured.
Yeah.
But, yeah. Just one of the few best wrestlers in wrestling history.
Yeah.
Ring of Honor, TNA, WCW, like, very little in WCW.
Yeah.
Also WWF.
Yeah.
And then elsewhere. But yeah, definitely a Hall of Famer. Like,
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
I don't know if he would ever make his way to WWE. Like,
Yeah.
I feel it's too late now. I'm sure he's still gonna be in AEW, but yeah. Also, was supposed to be in WWF for the, what was it? The Higher Power.
Oh, yeah.
But imagine that.
Yeah.
But I think that, yeah, these guys were awesome, and even you had Christopher Daniels pull out Crossroads.
Yeah.
I thought that move, I mean, I obviously hadn't seen it besides Cody doing it,
Yeah.
or even Dustin.
Yeah.
So, obviously don't know what it was called back then.
Yeah.
And then, of course, AJ Styles hitting the Styles Clash, and then you've got Samoa Joe with the Muscle Buster.
Yeah.
But,
Christopher Daniels going ahead and Angel's wings on AJ. AJ packed him up. Kind of like did a backdrop, but Daniels still holding onto his arms, and was it Daniel or AJ was able to like lift his legs and keep Daniels pinned, you could say, and got the win.
yeah. Yeah, and, you know, it was cool to have TNA allow AJ to be in their anniversary video.
Yeah, oh yeah.
You know, a guy that was an original. You know, you look at someone that began his career at the tail end of WCW,
Yeah.
along with Christopher Daniels. He did audition for WWF, but didn't get it.
Yeah.
And then, of course, going to TNA, going to Ring of Honor, going to New Japan, having a career there. Of course, being in WWE,
Yep.
which is 9 years. Well, 9 years, that was in January.
Yeah.
So it's like, and I'm not sure, but I think he was in WWE longer than he was in TNA.
Well, AJ was in TNA from 2002 to 2013 or 2014.
Oh, okay, so then, I see.
Because he was in, Japan, was in Japan for a little bit, and then he came to the WWE in 2015.
Yes,
So,
16.
16, okay, yeah. Yeah, so, yeah, AJ was in TNA from, I think it was like till like 2013 or 2014. Maybe 14.
Yeah.
He was there for quite a while.
Yeah, he was. Yeah, for sure. Well, I remember, like, even him having those arguments with Dixie Carter
Yeah.
and all that stuff, and then there was the whole, oh, he's gonna be the next member of Aces and Eights, and obviously that didn't happen.
Yeah.
But, yeah, just a guy that is nearing 50, and, again, not gonna talk too long about this, but being on Chris Van Vliet's show saying that after 50 he's done. Like wrestling.
Well, he's wanted to retire before 50.
Yeah. Oh, before.
By 50. Whatever.
Yeah, alright. Cool. And I mean, Samoa Joe, I could say a lot about him. Just kind of feel like he could have been WWE champion.
Yeah.
Could have had a very stellar feud with Brock Lesnar.
Yeah.
And in 2017, fuck you, you old fucking creep. And then Christopher Daniels. Already talked about him.
Yeah.
But yeah, this was a very good match.
Mm-hmm. Oh, all in all, it was a really good show.
Yeah.
Yeah, just think what I was saying about the talent that TNA had. And the talent that TNA had at that point, early on. Well, Ron Killings, Tip James, BT James, James Gang, but Road Dogg and Billy, Sabu, Rhino, Raven, all of
Yeah.
everybody else, Jeff Hardy, so on and so forth. And as the years went on, you just had there was a little who's who that was in TNA. Randy Savage for a little bit, Kevin Nash, Scott Hall, X-Pac, Kurt Angle,
Kurt
Hennig,
The Road Warriors.
the Road Warriors, Team 3D, the Dudleys, Jeff Jarrett. Well, he founded the company, but so many others.
Yeah, and I think that's cool. It's too bad that I wasn't necessarily watching at that time. I mean, like 2002 to, I guess around this time. I didn't really watch it until 2006. But anyways, yeah, I think that for some promotion that was going against WWE, I think it was like, I would say much better than WCW ever was.
You could say that, yeah.
But I mean, this was a good show.
Oh, yeah.
And, I almost forgot.
But there you go. Let's say it's backwards.
So, yes, I didn't have the sound effect. Deal with it. So, anyways, this has been another episode of Wheels of Fury.
Yes, sir.
Second installment of Look Back at 2005.
Yes, sir.
So, we will be back with that. But in the meantime, in between time, I think WrestleMania. Or is there another TNA event?
Well, next week there isn't anything.
Okay.
April 6th is Dynasty.
But yeah.
WrestleMania is until the middle of June or middle of April.
Better not be June.
No, yeah.
Yes.
April 19th and 20th.
So, yeah. So we got Dynasty, we got Stand and Deliver, and then we got WrestleMania. It's gonna be a hell of a show. There's still put in more matches.
Right.
But I think it's going to be awesome nonetheless.
Mm-hmm.
So, with me, Matt, this is going to be Wheels of Fury Heavyweight Champion.
Yeah.
And we will talk to you next time. Deuces.
Later.
The wheels of fury, they spin their